Okay, well, thank you all for joining us today. We're here to talk about AI basics, what every business owner needs to know. So this workshop is being presented by myself, Karen Chung, and Maya, Maya Kura. I'm in the UK. As you know, Maya is in Canada. And we're not going to talk much about us because we really want to focus on this. But we basically have been working with as business consultants and AI consultants. We've been developing chatbots for quite a few years now. We've been working together across the ocean. And we're passionate about AI and everything that it can do and how it can help businesses really leapfrog ahead. But the problem is at the moment that a lot of business owners are not sure where to start and basically what to do to start leveraging AI. And also it's becoming very important really that they do. So we really want to share that with you today. And the aim of our training is really to be practical, focused on business. Hang on, I'll go on to the slideshow. That's what I should be doing, shouldn't I? Practical, business focused, and jargon free. So the idea is that this workshop is really for those that aren't advanced users of AI, who aren't technically savvy as such, and really want to know a bit more about AI, what it can do for your business, and see some practical examples. So that's what we're here to show you today. So the objective is really to remove the mystery, because there's a lot of people that know that AI is something that we need to jump on as far as businesses are concerned, but don't know where to start, as I said. To show some practical use cases for AI. We'll go through some demos so you can actually see it in action. And really give you ways to get started immediately so that you can really start leveraging it and getting the benefit within your business. We'll hopefully have time for questions at the end. I'm going to run through this little bit of the theory for you, and then Maya's going to do a demo for you as well. So AI, we've all heard of AI, obviously stands for artificial intelligence. The way we like to think of it is that there's an AI brain, which is the huge database of knowledge. It's kind of a knowledge bank, I should say a knowledge bank, not a knowledge bank, of all the public available knowledge. So it's like a super brain almost, as it were. And we can tap into it now. It's been been around for a long time, and the large corporates have had access to it. But now, since in the last couple of years, we've now had an opportunity to tap into it, and that is changing the way not only we do business, but the way the whole world is starting to operate. The AI brain, this super intelligent resource that we have access to, can do everything pretty much that our brains can do. It can create, be creative, can be learn, reason, analyze, plan, report, predict information. It can do it all. Faster, better, more consistently, 24/7, never needs to sleep, and far cheaper than it would take in terms of our time and our resources time to do the same kind of task. In essence, the AI brain is infinitely smarter than all of us combined. That's those are my words. You've got a thought on whether it's smarter or not.
I don't actually believe that it's smarter. I think it's just been fed a lot of stuff. So it's not quite as dumb as the parrot that's learned 3 phrases and can repeat them and sound kind of human. But really, all AI can do, at least so far, it's not yet gotten into that inferential, higher level reasoning, I think. But that said, I mean, the original definition of AI was if you can't tell that it's not a human talking to you, then it could just as well be a human. So, yeah, maybe it is smarter. I don't know. I go around in circles on this one.
I think it's a definition on smart, but in essence, the AI brain has a huge knowledge bank, and that knowledge bank is made up of experts from around the world in every topic that you can imagine. And it doesn't just regurgitate like a parrot. It does have a degree of intellect about it. And we'll see in a moment when we get onto the demos and see what it can do, what it has its potential. And actually, it's at its worst now, and right now it's really, really good. It's only going to get better and better and better and better and better. But AI is nothing to be scared of. A lot of people are concerned about it taking over their jobs, about it, taking over the world. But it is just a computer, and we can communicate with it in a very like human-like manner, and that means that we can actually get a lot out of it. So there's nothing to be scared about. We can communicate it easily as we would with other people. Quality. Now, this is really important. The quality of what you get out of the AI tools is really dependent on what you put into it. Now, it has a huge knowledge bank, but it doesn't know what to do with that knowledge bank. In order for you to get the response you want out of it and to get a really high quality response, you have to be very specific and very clear around what you need and what you're asking of it. You need to provide it with sufficient information, like the context and background, what exactly you want it to do, its task, what role it should play, any particular criteria around the output that you want, its format, examples of the type of thing that you want. And then it will be able to deliver more to you. Just like a new member of staff, let's say you were to recruit an assistant in any part of your business potentially. That assistant, without knowing anything about you, doesn't know where to start. And it could be really, really super intelligent, but they need to understand what is it you want from them and have some background information around your business and what you do, who you serve, how you help, what's your visions, what are your values, all those kind of things they need to understand in order to give you the best service that they can get. AI is exactly the same. It's there to help you. It's your assistant, but you need to help it to give you good results. So Maya, over to you to start off this demonstration.
Okay, so I'm actually going to start with a little
I'll stop
blurb.
sharing. You can share your screen.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot I'm not sharing my screen. I'm acting as if I am. Okay, so let's go there and share it. Can you all see my screen? Karen, can you tell me yes or no?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, so I'm just going to give this ChatGPT, this is my paid version of ChatGPT. I'm going to say I run an event space here in Clarington, Ontario. That's actually near me. I'm not in Clarington right now, but that's where the space is. And you give me some businesses I could contact to come use this.
Context and background there.
Hang on, I'm just going to show what it does without any background. All I've said is I'm up here in Clarington, Ontario, right? And already, even with just that much, this is a pretty good list. Local law firms, accounting firms, yoga instructors, not-for-profits, hospitality businesses, lots and lots of options. But this, obviously the more information I give it, the more it's going to be able to tailor its responses to me. So I could sit here and say, we're near this, we're near that. There's this kind of events happening near me. But instead, if I do that over and over, it just gets painful for me to type out. Plus, the GPT has to learn that information every single time. If, on the other hand, I've just got a little bit of a blurb ready that I can just go in. By the way, this is how you do it. You go into the icon at the top right and say customize ChatGPT. So gave it my name. I run an event space in Clarington, Ontario with Marguerite, my business partner. What traits should ChatGPT have? Well, I wanted to act as a business advisor, occasionally as a marketing advisor, right? And I'm going to put in my little brief about where we are, what kind of things are happening near me, what I'm planning to do with the event space, and I save that. Now, if I do a new chat and say the same thing that I said in the old chat, which was what? Event space business leads. Let me just copy paste that exact content and stick it in my brand new chat, which now knows all that information I gave it. Gee, that's a little disappointing. It said the same damn thing that it said the last time. I was expecting it to give me a lot more tailored responses. Can you give me specific business names and contact information, please? There we go. That's much better.
So you can
So
see
let's
that
give it-
Maya's actually interacting with the with ChatGPT just as she would with a human being, and
Mhm.
you know, just asking questions and it's responding in the same kind of way in text form.
So now I want to just, I actually wrote this out beforehand. Can you create an article for my business? I should just paste it instead of trying to type and waste everybody's time. Include some details about all the fun activities. There you go. So now we've got a lot more detail. It knows that I'm going to have tree houses, camping
And
opportunities.
this information is coming from all the context you've given it already.
It's coming from that context, plus, things like alpacas and goat experience. I haven't told it that. I haven't told it about the spa days that I'd like to do. Nature trails. I did mention the treetop trekking, so that's definitely nearby. And,
But in essence, it's picking up knowledge that it has, but it's also trying to customize
it's combining that.
your context
Exactly.
and your background. So it's not just a general response, it's actually based on the context and background. And Myra's shown here where you can kind of put that custom section in at the top, but you can equally put that in the blurb.
Right. And if you're using this as a group of people, like if you have friends that or your family that you share with, then maybe you don't want to stick it up in that, customized ChatGPT thing because your sibling might have a different one, your spouse might have different details, whatever. But if it's just you using the account, absolutely customize ChatGPT because then you don't need to retrain it every time. Now I asked it to give me that article. I can also just say, repurpose that article, give me some social media posts, right? So it took that, and let's see what it comes up with. By the way, I hope you guys are dropping things into the chat if you have any questions. I probably won't see them and answer them on the fly, but we'll save them up and answer them as we can. Now what? Okay, there we go. No, that's still the article. Where is it? Failed to generate. Well, that's, yes, demo mode. That's really, really useful. Okay, there we are. Escape and gather in nature. That's a nice one. Rustic charm with modern elegance. Adventure waits. Why not add an adventure? There we go. Skiing, treetop trekking. Now, this is actually really interesting because it's talking to the corporate organizer. If you're doing a team building activity or something like that, that's a great idea. Relax and recharge. This could be just for anybody. Farm to table dining. Your perfect event starts here. And of course, DM us to learn more. Now, let's also say, yeah. Let me see if it can do this. escape and gathering nature. And you come up with an image to go with number 1, please. So basically, ChatGPT these days can do all of this, right? Of course, I mean, in this particular case, it's a contrived example. You would probably have your own photographs that I have my own photographs of the area that I would use in reality. And that's a really nice imaginary place with I guess, a banquet table set. Very nice. It's not what my place looks like.
Maya, Caroline is asking, do you have to have the paid version of ChatGPT to take advantage of that customization option?
No, it's there, I think, even for the free version.
And as we said earlier, you can, when you start out your conversation with ChatGPT, you could just provide the whole background around what it is that you
Yes.
want, you know, the business that you're looking at. Because like in my case, I look at a number of different businesses that I want information from. So I need to provide all that information at the front end of the conversation so that it knows what context and what background to use. And if I can't put it all into that customization section because you just get confused.
So I tend to be polite with my ChatGPT. Some people are rude. I have a friend who basically abuses his ChatGPT, but you know, different people do that. I don't think ChatGPT is going to try to take revenge on him, but it's interesting. Caroline, I see also that you say you were hit by a romantic scammer. You know what? That is definitely going to be a thing to worry about. I'm also hearing about things like people scamming older people, like parents, grandparents, because nowadays you can voice clone. So if someone like me is talking on YouTube, guess what? The voice samples are there. Someone could easily take that, put it into a training system, and get it to say things like, hey, mom, I'm being held captive, send money. Or, hey, mom, I'm traveling right now, my purse got stolen, send money.
I've actually said to my boys, because I've had quite a few text messages along those lines, and I said to them, right, we've got a secret code. You need to say that secret word for me to know that it's really you, because right now, yes, you know, with everything, with every new tool, well, with every tool really, you can use it for good and bad. There's a lot of scope to use it for bad.
Yeah, absolutely. Karen, I'm going to give this back to you.
Okay.
And stop sharing. There you go. Go ahead. Over to you again.
Okay.
She thought she was off the hook. No.
There we go. Okay, so as a context demonstration, the point of what Maya was trying to show was actually, as she said in that customization section, you need to tell ChatGPT about your background. If I go back to the previous slide, you can see that every input that you put into an AI tool, and ChatGPT is one of the tools that you could use. We're using that as an example because, you know, most people know about it and that's what the tool that most people are using, but there are a lot of others now and a growing number, all very good and have some benefits using some. They have certain strengths over others, but we're not going to touch on that today because that's probably for a later more advanced talk. But you have to be specific and you have to be clear, and the AI tool needs to understand the background and the context around what you're requesting in order for it to give you the best answers. So Maya put in the customization section, you know, a lot more blurb about the about her business, about the retreat, what they're trying to do, where they're based, and all that kind of thing. Which, if she hadn't given that information, ChatGPT would just assume, make some assumptions, and those assumptions are more than likely going to be wrong because it can't do anything other than
that. You can see that, right? Because I didn't give it any images. So it came up with an image that it just invented. That kind of looks like a retreat space.
Exactly. Yeah. It's there to help you and it's going to do its best. but you have to help it by feeding it the right information and as much information as you can, being very clear, very specific, so that it can do a great job for you.
Think of it as
So,
like almost a small child, basically, or a new employee, right? You will ask it a
new employer.
question without giving it context, and it will try to answer to the best of its response, to the best of its abilities. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
Oh, hang on, hang
so
on, hang on. Henriette, I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name. She says, I tried different styles with it and noticed that when I said please and thank you, it gave a longer, richer response. That's very interesting. Yes. Programmers probably found it important to be polite. Yeah.
there's a lot of people that are saying, be polite to it, treat it like a human and talk nicely, and then that it will, come back to you in a far better way. You get a better response. So, yeah,
Yeah. And what
yeah,
Peter says, that it's detectable right now as AI,
yeah,
yes. But that line is blurring so fast,
it
honestly.
is.
It's becoming harder and harder to tell. Anyway, sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt, Karen. Keep going.
No, but just touching on that, I think it's important to note that, for example, a lot of HR systems will and other systems
Yes.
will identify when AI content has been generated. They can identify that. So even we're becoming more and more apparent, it's becoming more and more apparent if AI content is generated as opposed to human
Yeah.
content, but the systems can
Yeah.
do it far easier than we can. So
Yeah.
there's a time and a place for AI content. And
Yeah.
there's a time and a
And
place
Carolyn,
for.
yes, it can. It basically, when I asked it to do that, Carolyn's asking, can it estimate numbers? Is it Carolyn or Caroline? I've heard both. Sorry. I'm picking one each time and it's not consistent.
Caroline, I think.
Line like a line. Okay. Um, can it estimate numbers for pricing out retreats and workshops? Yeah, it does. It basically looked at neighboring, well, not neighboring, but Toronto. Toronto's the closest big city, and gave me prices, and then also said, because there's a shortage in your area, you could actually charge a little bit more. So yay. And that's actually
So
what we had discovered from our own market research.
yeah, I mean, the AI tool has this infinite knowledge around um, every
All the
area of the
stuff that's
world,
on the
every
web.
expertise.
But there's also the minor detail that nowadays there's a lot
Yeah,
of um, garbage information being uploaded as well because of AI. Because there
yeah,
are
you
people
have
that
to.
are just going out there and spinning articles, right? So the AI is being trained on those as well as on the good stuff. So now you
Yeah,
have to be more careful as well as to whether it's
yeah.
getting you the real information.
Everything that AI comes out with, and we're going to touch on this later around, you know, the considerations you have to have in your head, but um, in all the knowledge is out there and it can do an awful lot for you. As you can see here, you can input text, which is what Maya did, but you can upload an image or a document to the you can give it a website, a URL link. You can talk to it and it can talk back to you. You can create videos, you can create all the content for your website. You could create documents, but you can also upload documents into it. You can give it code and it will check the programming code and enhance it for you. It will deal with any bugs and snags that come up. It now is so intelligent that you can basically feed so much information from various different sources to educate it and customize it to provide it with a wealth of knowledge around what you want from it. And as I said before, if you're clear and specific and give it as much information as possible, it will give you fantastic results. But you do need to always validate that. Don't just take it. As Maya said, there's a lot of fake content out there, but the results are generally very good.
I
From a
was also
business
going to
perspective,
say, ChatGPT recently came out with the Pro version in January. The Pro is like $200. Yes, don't remind me, Karen. It's $200 a
200 a month.
month. And the estimates are that if regular ChatGPT o1 is at the level of, about your average programmer, right? But in terms of writing code, if you use the o3 that's in Pro, apparently it can write code that is equal to the code written by the top 10 programmers in the world. How much would you pay for one of those top 10 programmers? You would pay, their salary is probably in the $500,000 range a year minimum, and you're getting it for $200 a month. So for those who are saying that Pro is not useful, it's not useful for most people, yes, but it's useful for researchers. It's useful for people who are generating a lot of code, for that kind of person, or for a business that's got programmers. So then
Yeah.
again, we of course will circle back to what's going to happen to all the programmers who got jobs in the past 20 years. I'm one of them. We will pivot. That's what we will do.
Yeah. And SJ's mentioned that, agents will be definitely replacing multiple jobs, and it will replace jobs, but replace them, it will change the job. It will change the
No, it
way.
will replace them. It will completely replace them for sure. Because I mean, already you're seeing it in restaurants in Japan, right? Waiters are gone in many restaurants. They're going to be little robots serving people.
Yeah.
I was at a restaurant downtown Toronto the other day that had a robot that came along, just basically brought the trays out, and then the waitress just put the, waitress is an old-fashioned word, put the dishes on the table, and the robot ran off finally. So, it's there, it's coming, but what we've got to do is figure out how to pivot. But I'm just going to throw in a plug for our next training that's coming up on Monday. That's someone who's talking about the pivot. So if you're interested in, options to where your programming jobs are disappearing to, that may be one you want to attend. Okay, I will shut up now. Back to you.
We're passionate about this stuff, and there's so much that we'd like to share with you, and we're kind of trying to rein it in, because we could talk for hours. Okay, so in essence, we need to be very specific, and we can upload and provide so much information to this AI brain, the AI model we're working with, to get all sorts of responses. And specifically, yes, it is free, Kayla. Specifically, the output that we're looking for from a business perspective, you can create content, as Maya's showed you. How quickly can you create an article that's very relevant, that you could literally just read through, make sure, validate that it's all correct, and then pop that up onto your website or onto various channels? How quickly you could repurpose that content, create some social media posts that you can easily and quickly upload onto the social media channels. All of these things can be done, within seconds, where normally it would take quite some time, probably an hour or so, to come up with the article, if not more. So you're saving so much time, more than 10 times. They say, 10x, 100x. How do you quantify that time saving and what it might mean for you? There are a lot of repetitive tasks that can and are automated now with AI. We'll talk a bit more about that and give some examples, but really to improve your efficiency and your time. Maya, can you just drop the link to the Cunningham talk for Monday into the chat, please? And now this is where, everybody is learning about what it can create in terms of content, the written content, the images, social media posts and the likes. But as we kind of touched on, it can analyze, it can research, it can report, it can predict, it can reason, and it can plan, and it can provide you with so much information for your business. If you're starting out in business, or whether you're already in business, if you're starting out, it can research the market for you. It can tell you where perhaps the best opportunities might be, who your customer avatar is, and how to really target them. Give you a plan on how to go forward to in every aspect of your business. It can You can provide it with research, you can provide it with reports and ask it to analyze and summarize and identify some of the issues that that might arise, or opportunities that might be available. It can forecast and predict, and you can use large volumes of data. So actually, you know, research,
Well,
analysis.
we know that they've already used AI to isolate the genes that cause things like Alzheimer's. They're working on a cancer vaccine, again, helped with AI. So there's a lot of really good uses for AI. It's not just
Yeah.
all the doom and gloom.
No. And basically what it's done is the AI has crunched data that would take years for humans to work out. And also, you know, the AI has done it more consistently with less error. So it's coming up with, on the medical front, it's coming up with advances that would have taken us years and decades potentially to have achieved. So, you know, we're really moving forward. But from a business perspective, this is the area where I think there is huge value from a strategic perspective, in terms of identifying where, you know, where you could put, where you would take your business and how you would take it going forward from there. Okay, so Maya, back to you for some more demonstrations. Maybe you've shown about how to get some written copy and repurposing that for social media. Maybe show how you could use it as an expert advisor, document upload, that kind of thing. You want to take the screen?
I'm going to do the expert advisor, but I might leave it back to you for uploads. How about that, Karen? Okay. Let's say this time I'm going to actually tell ChatGPT, you are a marketing expert specializing in writing press releases. Okay. We are hosting an open house on March 10th for local businesses. Would like some media attention and also want to promote to the local Chamber of Commerce. Could you please write a compelling press release? You know, I have never really thanked my typing teacher. Okay, and here we go for immediate release. Flaggerton's premier event space. Well, okay, we're brand new. I'm not sure about my premier, but I need to clearly. So there we go. We would put in the date, the time, the actual address. That would be a good thing, wouldn't it? Guess attendees can enjoy complimentary refreshments, blah. Local media are invited to cover the event. Okay, now what I didn't say was, and again, I would really put all of this maybe in the background, I don't know. Please include that we are looking for local vendors to supply food and drink. So we have a lot of wineries in the neighborhood, breweries, things like that. So there we go. Local business and community leaders are invited, blah, blah, blah. Attendees get complimentary refreshments, and there we go. We are actively seeking local vendors to supply food and drink. And, you know, really, probably we would also want to engage them and have them on as our vendors for future events. So anyway, so step by step, we can do that. And again, right, it would be useful. So this press release is good to go almost as is. I could actually use it, just put in my business name, phone number, all of that, contact information, and take it and go. And actually, I can even say, can you get me the contact information? CP24, please. That's a local 24-hour news channel on our TV. And basically all the coffee shops and even the sports bars and everything have at least one TV that's always tuned to this channel. So this is a brilliant place to get. Yeah, there we go. Go to their contact us page. Yes. All right. Perfect. So there's even a phone number, which pretty much the free plan limit. Hey, I have a paid plan. What are you talking about? Okay. That would be because I tried to downgrade my plan from Pro this morning. Yes, I had Pro until today. That $200 thing, I have to admit, I might be totally uncreative because I could not think of deep research ideas to give Pro. You know, that's the bottom line. So for me, that $200 was wasted because okay, didn't even try really hard. Anyway, Karen,
Okay.
exciting news. I'm out of usage right now. Let me try and fix that. But could you take over, please?
Sure. Okay, so where are we? Whoops, that's not where we are.
Just did the demo. Yeah.
Hang on.
How do you create the experts? Well, you need a non-free plan.
Yes, well, we're not going to cover how you create the custom GPTs today, but we could do another training on that perhaps.
We
I think that
actually
would be
should.
very useful. We will show you some of that and how that works. And we've actually got a custom GPT which we're going to give you access to today. So Maya, you've given an example of how ChatGPT could be an expert advisor to you. In essence, it could be an advisor, a professional advisor in that business advisor. It could be an HR advisor. It could be a financial advisor. It could be your coach. It could be your therapist. It could be your nutritionist. It can provide you with across the spectrum. If there's a knowledge bank out there and an expertise in a particular thing that is held in knowledge that's held in people's heads, then you can just ask ChatGPT to, can you as a therapist, as a therapist, I'm really stressed at the moment. I need I'm feeling so overwhelmed. Can you give me some ideas of what to do? And it will tell you. You could ask it as as a business advisor. I'm giving it all the context, all the background. I run this business and I'm struggling to get clients. I've tried this and I've tried that. Can you give me some ideas? And it will give you some ideas. You just need to ask.
Okay, watch folks as I hijack the screen again. I'm evil.
You're sharing the screen.
Now, yeah, you are now playing the role of a what is it? A wellness coach. I'm stressed about the business. I can't sleep at night. Can you suggest some ways to get better rest and not freak out quite so much? Yes, like I said, you can absolutely talk to ChatGPT like it's a human being. And see, if you pay it money, it actually starts talking to you again. It's like that, really materialistic friend you have. There we go. Improve your sleep. Yeah. Wind down alarms, brain dump. No screens. Yes, this is my biggest problem. I always have screens. I literally see top.
You need those
Karen
blue light glasses.
wake up at 4 a.m. and then she and I talk at 4 in the morning. Yeah. Cool, dark, quiet,
So,
sleep, meditation, reduce the
so
freak
you
out.
can
Okay.
see here that it's acting as a um in the role of a wellness coach and giving advice, and so helpful. It can do that for your business if you want to put a business plan together, or you want to um really understand the
Look
kind
at
of
this last one. Look at this last one. You're doing better than you think. That's really important to remind people who are stressed, right? Because we tend to
yeah.
look down on ourselves and we see all the negatives that we haven't achieved, that we haven't done. But it's really good to have this little extra. Anyway,
Mm,
sorry to steal
yeah.
that, Karen. Back to you.
Well, ChatGPT is always there to help you, and all the AI models are there to help. So if you need help, ask. If you don't know how to do something, ask it, and it will tell you if it knows, and it generally will know the answer. So it's extremely powerful when you just start conversing with it. And I mean, I see here one of you have mentioned that you find it very helpful with HR functions, creating job descriptions, that kind of thing.
Yes.
Asking emails, asking it for sound professional advice. Exactly. So sound professional, more direct. Exactly. You can ask it to respond in a certain way, in a certain format, in a friendly manner, or more professional manner, or even in a joking manner. It's up to you how you want what you want from it. You've got to ask for, and then it will deliver. And that's what's
She
quite
has an
incredible.
interesting question. How will societies survive if people paying into social pension systems are all unemployed and replaced by machines? Scary times. You know what, Henriette, that not only did people say and think the same thing about the Industrial Revolution, it actually happened. A lot of people lost jobs, a lot of people literally starved to death. But we've been there, we've seen that, and there's already planning in place, right? Governments are starting to think that now they're going to have to implement some kind of basic income system, something like that. So it's just, we will adjust. Some
Yeah.
jobs, many jobs will disappear, but I think there's going to be a whole new ecosystem that opens up for us. People who never before could have thought of going into a career like doing research, we can do it now because the AI will do the hard work. So it's really, really fantastic.
It
Oh, I
it is.
like
It's
that.
like, sorry.
Peter's suggesting that I should ask people for a research idea that they need, but they don't want to pay $200 for, but they might give me a fraction of that price.
That's
Yeah,
a good
I like it.
idea. It's a
I
very good
like it.
idea. Yeah. Um, the quality of the output from the AI tools now is quite incredible. And the point here now is that in business, and this training is all about, getting the most out of it for business. It's not just about, saving you time, being more efficient, um, getting a higher quality result faster, cheaper, better than you would have done otherwise. But really, as we're talking about this revolution, and we've got a slide on that later, but really, just as in the Industrial Revolution, everything changed. Businesses had to change. They had to progress and move with the times, or they would end up dying. And now this is moving, and it is moving at such a pace. This AI train, you need to board if you haven't started already, because it's changing the way businesses operate. And those businesses that are using this kind of technology now have got a huge advantage. But if you don't use this technology in literally the months to come, you'll be at a huge disadvantage, because your competitors are going to be doing everything faster, cheaper, better. And if you're trying to write an article just for social media, and it takes you an hour, but they can do it in 30 seconds, how many articles can they write and put up there and be in front of all your potential customers,
Yes.
compared to the number of articles you can write. You know, how many social media posts, how many emails can they respond to? There's just, you know, everything from that external customer facing interaction to the internal business strategy, research, analysis, to the operational managing of finances and stock and inventory, and everything in between will and is being managed with our AI technology. And those businesses that are leveraging it now, as I said, are at an advantage. Those businesses that don't leverage it in months to come will be at that disadvantage and end up really struggling to stay alive.
So SJ is talking about AI that's basically self-replicating without human intervention. Yeah, I grew up on books written by Isaac Asimov, where he basically talked about, you know, the prime directive, which is you will do no harm to humans specifically. And then there were two others, I think, that were of lesser importance. But sooner or later, we're going to need governance, we're going to need regulations, we're going to need boundaries around the AI. And we can only hope that it hasn't already taken off way too far ahead. I mean, we're now using AI in war zones. There's a lot of ethical issues, you know, on all sides of this. Okay, I will stop because there's a whole section about that Karen's got to get to. If I keep talking, she won't get there.
We could talk for hours, and then and there is so much to talk about. Okay, let me if we move on then. Okay, so what I wanted us to do was we've given you an idea of the expert advisor. Just ask ChatGPT or any of the large language models what you need from it and what role you want it to play. And it will call upon the expertise that it has and provide you with the answers. Document upload. So Maya, you haven't got a document to upload. You want me to share?
No. If you've got
Right.
one, yeah, but I'm going to say we only have about 12 minutes left. So if you want to skip that, folks, you can upload your documents. If you've got a PDF, you can upload it and ask questions.
You've got ChatGPT open. Can you just share your screen and show them where they upload that information?
Absolutely.
So basically, if you want to train a ChatGPT, if you want to ask it to analyze some information, specific information that's in a document, summarize it, maybe come up with the key points. Maybe it's a data analysis on a particular document around stock, around inventory, about market, about you know, your customers. You can upload the documents. So Maya, you want to show them where you can upload the document? No. Yes. Yeah.
And I'm going to say upload from my computer. You can add it from your Google Drive. You can connect apps like OneDrive. So upload from computer, and you will see my messy computer thing. Hello. Yes. So I can, okay, let's look and see if I've got a PDF.
And yes, on Caroline, you're talking about uploading photos. You can equally upload images, photos, and ask it to, if you've got a photograph of a document, for example, you can upload that photograph and it will understand it. And then you can ask it to summarize that document for you, or provide you with, you know, the specific, if you have specific questions around the document. Or if you want an image and you want something to create a similar style image, you can upload one image in a particular style, and then it will use that information.
Okay, so I uploaded literally a prompt guide. And I asked, what does it do? And it tells me what it does. Okay. Give me an example. I'm giving up on being polite here. Okay. There we go. Look at that. You are an AI social media strategist for a health and wellness brand. Create a social media post that promotes our new yoga class. I mean, you guys can read it.
And now this is exactly what we were saying earlier about being specific and complete and very clear and transparent around what request you're making of the AI model. Provide it with the background, with information, what task it needs to play, what role it needs to play, what format you want the information coming out at. All that information, the detail, the specifics needs to be provided ideally to the AI model, and then it will generate the best output.
Please provide a social media post for my event space. That was actually quite convenient, wasn't it? Here we go.
There you go. So now this is the prompt. So this is the prompt that you would then ask it, give it to then get the result.
And look at that. Here's the actual post.
Fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
So Maya's shown you, so Maya's shown you how she can upload a document. Using that document, the AI then, absorbs it and runs from there. So whether that document is a photo, whether it's a Word document, whether it's a table and a whole load of data, a report, whatever.
Or it's the entire World Wide Web, which is what all these manufacturers did when they created their AIs. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, exactly. Right, hang on a second. Let's move on to the next. I know we've got a lot to cover. Okay.
Upload photos, same place, Caroline, where I clicked plus. You can upload a photo there as well and tell it to describe the photo. And then you can tell it. I hear Grok is the best one for this, where you can tell it to generate photos too, based on that original photo. So it's really useful. Ooh, demo time. I will be quiet. Karen, over to you.
I was going to do a demo. So you saw before that you can upload and chat to ChatGPT in text form, just like you do on a messaging platform. But you can also talk to it, and it can also talk back to you, and it can provide. If you train it, it can do all sorts of different things, whether it be in voice or on text format. But we just wanted to give you an example of how it can work with voice demo. Something that we do. We create customer service agents or AI receptionists for businesses. Here's an example. This is me just recording a voice agent that I've created for one of my businesses, where this voice agent takes a call and is demoing what it can do. Okay, so it's going to take a call and ask for and basically say, I'm demoing what a voice agent can do. Are you okay with that? Would you like me to do a demo and give me a little bit of information about your business? And then, okay, I'll go into a demonstration. So if you just listen to this, hopefully this will, oh, hang on a minute, Maya, do I need to do something?
Yes, you need to reshare with sound on.
Okay, sorry.
And while you're doing that, no, go ahead. Remind me to come back and show people where the custom GPTs are and how to grab them.
Yeah, we've got to do that, definitely. Okay, so very quickly, this is just a demo of how AI voice is starting to be used.
And this is for business owners. I mean, really, this is so useful. If you've got your receptionist that you pay to be there 9 to 5, what happens after 5 o'clock? What happens before 9 o'clock?
How many calls do you miss for so many different reasons? Okay, so this is me talking to my AI agent over the phone.
Hi, I'm Florrie from BizBuzzBox. I'm a voice AI agent trained to take calls and book appointments. I'd like to demonstrate how a customized voice AI agent works. Would that be okay with you?
Yes, that's great.
Great. First, I'll ask a few questions about your business so I can tailor my responses for the demo call. Sound good?
Yeah.
Awesome. To get started, started, what's the name of your business?
My business is Karen's Florist.
Thanks, Karen. Can you tell me a bit more about Karen's Flowers? Like what industry you're in and who your primary customers are?
I'm a florist and I cater for weddings.
That sounds lovely. What types of customer interactions do you handle most often? Like booking appointments, answering inquiries, or managing support issues?
So you can see you keep expecting me to reply. So basically it's answering and it's talking to me. I've trained it to be an agent which demos. Let me just move it forward a little bit further and you can see.
Would like me to demonstrate during the role play?
Perhaps someone advising that they have a wedding coming up and they'd like to book an appointment with me to discuss flowers for their wedding.
Perfect. I'll demonstrate how I can assist with booking an appointment for a wedding consultation. Let's dive into the role play now. Hello, and thank you for calling Karen's Flowers. This is your voice AI assistant. How can I help you today?
I'm calling because I've got a wedding being planned and I'd like to discuss the flowers for the wedding, please.
I'd be delighted to help with that. May I know the date and time you're looking for to book an appointment?
Maybe Monday next week?
Great. I'll pencil you in for Monday next week. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
No. Could you tell me what telephone number to call?
You can reach us at our main line, which is 0123456789. If you have any other questions or need further assistance, feel free to call.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That wraps up the role play demonstration. Do you have any thoughts or feedback on how this could work for Karen's Flowers?
Oh, I like it. It could save me a huge amount of time answering these kind of phone calls and having my appointments booked for me.
I'm glad to hear that. It can definitely free up your time for other important tasks. Would you like to schedule an appointment with a consultant to discuss this further and explore more AI opportunities for Karen's Flowers?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Great. I'll get that booking link over to you now.
Okay, so that gives you a good idea of the kind of thing that we can start using with voice AI. It's hugely intelligent. You train it, and yes, clearly Karen's Florist is not really my business. I was making it up on the fly, but it gives you an idea that actually it sounds quite human. It's much better for somebody if they're going to phone late at night, for example. You don't want to be taking that call. Your business potentially misses a lot of calls, and what does that really mean?
Think of it this way. If I'm a bride or the mother of the bride looking to get everything sorted for a wedding, I'm literally going, if someone doesn't answer my phone, I'm literally going to just dial up the next person on the list.
Exactly.
And, you just lost probably a $10,000 order. Is it worth it to have an AI receptionist for $1,000 a month? I think so.
Yeah.
And yes,
Yeah.
that was a plug for our AI receptionist.
Well, I mean, the point is really that this is, AI is moving at such a pace that now it can answer the phone for you, and that means saving time for you.
Hi, I'm Flory from BizBuzzBox. Hi, I'm Flory from BizBuzzBox. I'm a voice AI agent trained.
That's exciting. What did you just do?
I meant to move on. I just pressed enter and it came on. Right.
Of course.
So yes, I mean, we've talked about the Industrial Revolution. We talked about, the fact AI is here and it's now, and it can do things faster, cheaper, better than any one of us.
Caroline, can I say also that yes, AI will take over this kind of role. It's going to happen. I mean, no matter how we resist it, it's going to happen. But it frees you up and it frees me up. It frees us up to go talk to the other people in real life, right? Let the AI go do its thing. We don't have to go sit there babysitting it.
Well, yes, exactly. And the point is that, yes, it is going to change things, and it's going to change things dramatically. For some good and some not so good, I'm sure. But it is going to change, and our roles will change. Some parts of our roles will completely be taken over by AI. But that does free us up, and it does give us the opportunity to do added value things. Whenever we're doing anything, we have this 3 constraints. We have the quality of what we do is dependent on how fast, how much time we invest in it, the speed of it, and how much we pay for something often reflects the quality. So there's always these 3 constraints around any kind of task that we do. And normally you have to compromise on one. If you want higher quality, you pay more, or maybe it takes longer. But if you want to pay less, then maybe the quality is less. All those kind of things has always been the case. But actually with AI, and this is what is really, really hit home to me, is that because it does it faster, cheaper, better, it actually, this triangle of compromise, as I've called it, no longer exists. You no longer have to compromise on quality for speed or for cost, because AI actually, relatively speaking, is really, really, really cheap. It does things really, really, really fast, and the quality is really quite exceptional. So AI revolution is very much here, and it's important to really start to understand what it can do for you in your business. So example, UK saves time, saves money, better quality in its output, create content, images, videos. We haven't touched on that, but it can create visuals for you, written copy as we've shown, business intelligence, market research analysis, forecasting, reporting, customer support automation, chatbots. So, you know, obviously we've demonstrated a voice agent, but you can equally have written chatbots, which I'm sure you've seen on various websites, and help businesses to communicate in a engaging way, in many cases, not always, with their customers. Personalization, customer support, it can look at the records of clients and what they've bought before, what kind of things they might be interested in, and then hone in and recommend things that they might like. And you've seen this before, I'm sure, on various sites that you've been looking at. For example, with non-profits, you've got, for example, people that have donated. The non-profits could do some analysis on the data that they've got to see where their donations are coming from, and who are most likely to donate, how much, and where and why, and use that data therefore to strategically communicate with their sponsors. In terms of communication, I mean, someone mentioned in the chat about using it for email. So, you know, you can use it for your reviews. You could use it to answer reviews and do that all automatically. There's so much you could do to basically take away a lot of the time that is taken to manage a customer support, and in quite an impressive way now. I mean, that voice agent can qualify leads for you, can book appointments for you, can answer queries for you. You just need to train it and give it the information that it needs to be able to provide you with the service that you want. It can summarize, interpret, translate documents, so you can basically, you know, your business could be able to communicate with anybody in any language. Transcribe, predict information, expert advisors. And the other thing, and Maya touched on this before, it can be your clone. So it can clone your voice so that you can basically write out in text form what you want it to say, and then it will say it in your voice. It can clone your image and then turn that into a video and make videos of you, which aren't actually you, but look very much like you, saying what you've asked it to say in your cloned voice. It can do so much, and we kind of, this is like very much giving you the outskirts of what it can do, but that was the point of today's session, to give you that idea. And yes, as someone said in the chat, this is the worst it will ever be. It is moving at such a pace, and it's a job to keep up with it, to be honest, and it's probably going to accelerate even faster. So now is definitely the time to learn about it and find out what it can do. So what we've demonstrated is ChatGPT as being the main large language model that people are using generally. But there are lots of other large language models, as I've mentioned before, but there also are lots of tools that have been developed on top of those AI models for specific purposes, and therefore probably will do a better job than you would directly within ChatGPT. And we've got a list of those tools you can see here at the bottom. Maya, can you put this in the chat, the actual link there? Just, we've got a list of some of these tools. Sure. We'll be adding to them. These are tools that we use, have used, and are proven tools that have been around for a little while. That might be useful in your business to, from a productivity perspective, from marketing perspective, image perspective, videos, all those kind of things. So you might find that useful. It's got AI tools for business, takes you directly to the page.
Okay.
Now, I know we're running over, but we did want to talk about considerations that you need to be aware of when you're using AI. There are inaccuracies, and it does hallucinate sometimes. It makes things up, and that's why it's so important for you to put in as much information and specifics for your request from the AI brain, as it were, for it to know where it needs to source its response from. Having said that, as Maya said before, there's a lot of duff information out on the internet, and AI, the knowledge bank that it has, takes its knowledge from all of this plethora of knowledge, and some of it is not good, some of it is fake, some of it is blatantly fake, but it doesn't know the difference between what is and what isn't, and it's purely an algorithm at the end of the day. So you do need to validate what your what output comes from that research. And some tools are more correct than others, I'd say, in different areas. Some have strengths in some areas and not in others. So it is about trialing and error, but always validate the information that comes out. Is there anything you want to say on that, Maya? On the inaccuracy?
I've been having this wonderful little side chat with Caroline and a couple of others in the chat. There's inaccuracies, there's hallucinations. It's getting better and better in some ways, because it doesn't make up quite as much stuff as it used to when, a couple of years ago when it was young. But again, just like we've been going back and forth, people are already using AI to spin articles. I have a friend who's he's doing real content, but I know people who are just putting any old garbage up there. This is almost like the days when the web was young, when people would put, keyword stuffing all across their page. They would put all kinds of keywords on a website. And so the early days of Google would bring you back complete garbage for a search. Search engine is now answer engine. In fact, one of the better answer engines, Perplexity, has just announced its own browser. So now this actually, Karen, did you have a couple of other points here? Were you going to talk about copyright?
Yes, there are. Data privacy.
Privacy, big concern.
Yeah. You want to talk about that?
No, just that, okay, I will tell you that, let me actually share my screen again. Back to ChatGPT, you know the drill, people. Okay, so if you can see my screen, ChatGPT and probably most of the models right now, by default, they train themselves on everything you're interacting with them. So by default, ChatGPT is training on your conversations. If you want to turn that off, you can go here and there's this thing called temporary chat. Turn that on, that's an anonymous conversation. Now, this means that anything you type in here is not going to be used for training, but it also means that it's not going to remember it. So when you close this tab, that chat is gone. So what you want to do if you go into temporary mode, you want to copy paste into a Google Doc or a text document of some sort. Another thing you can do is if you have a plan, I've got the basic plan right now. I gave up my pro, but there's also a plan here for business, and that's the Teams plan. And that one by default is private. So team data is excluded from training by default.
Yeah.
So it might be worth the
and that-
$5 extra.
Yes, very much so. And in fact, you have to remember that most of the information, it's just the AI model is gathering information from information that people are putting in to it and onto the internet. So any information, assume that any information you're putting into a model like this is actually going to be fed back into its data bank. So if there's any sensitive information about your business, or if there's any sensitive information about you personally that you don't want to be in that huge data bank, as it were, then be wary of what you put into it.
Well,
you
I'm
can
also
hide
going
it,
to say,
as I showed you, and also some tools are actually private. They don't share their data with the knowledge bank of the language models. So often using the tools, you have an extra layer of privacy in there. Going straight into the language models, be very careful about what you put in.
in fact, even with the Teams version, the advice I'm hearing is if you've got something proprietary, keep it out of the GPTs, please, because, then don't complain if somebody accidentally comes upon your idea, okay? So for now, let's assume that even with the best of intentions, things could screw up and the GPT could pick up something it wasn't intended to. Right now, for example, I'm really rethinking Gmail. Everybody uses Gmail, but guess what? Google's probably training on your Gmail. So I'll leave you with that lovely little bit of paranoia.
Oh dear, there's so many ways you could
Oh yeah,
you can pull out your hair and
Caroline, I'm just
live in a cave.
Caroline, I would recommend that after this webinar, you get one of those Men in Black zappers and just erase everything you just heard in the last hour and a half.
What's really interesting, actually, if you've been using, for example, ChatGPT, and you then ask it, based on all the information I've applied into you, can you give me, what would you say about me? And it will give you really interesting feedback on what it thinks you're interested in, what kind of person you are, all that kind of stuff. Quite interesting. Anyway, right, moving on. So
I have to admit, I'm one of these people that is a privacy nut. So I have been known to go into temporary chat quite often. So when I asked ChatGPT that, it basically said, I don't know you very well. I can't tell you anything about you.
Good. That's good. That's good. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Moving on briefly then to copyright and regulations. This is a big area as well. And as Maya said before, it will become far more regulated than it is at the moment. It's kind of the wild, wild west at the moment. So just be careful around what you're doing with whose data. The information it comes out with, it generates for you. You can't really claim copyright for that. But generally, I would use that as a starting point as opposed to the end point of your data. So if you're writing an article, go through that article, tweak it, change it, make it your own, and make it sound more human and more you, as it needs to be. You know, it does use some data that could be maybe considered to be copyrighted from somebody else, and that's something you also need to be aware of.
There are a lot of court cases going on in the US and around the world. A lot of artists, a lot of authors are suing these big companies, saying, you know what, that's my private stuff. How dare you, without permission, train your thing on that? Yeah, ChatGPT and New York Times. Also,
Yeah.
artists are suing a lot of, I think, I can't remember if it was Midjourney or Stable Diffusion, and probably ChatGPT, that they're suing because their images have been uploaded. And, you know, you can literally say, give me an image of this scene in the style of so-and-so. Yeah, Hugging Face. Lovely, yeah. Yeah, that's a great, it's a great tool, but yes, read their blog post too. Yeah.
Yeah. So have this in mind when
click the 3 dots at the top of the chat and click Save Chat. I think it should be enabled for everyone because there's been a lot of interesting conversation in there and also a bunch of links that you don't want to lose. Sorry, Karen, what were you saying?
It's okay. Right. So we've shown you, if you're not using ChatGPT at the moment, get a free account. There's so much you can do with it. The paid account obviously gives you more features, and it gives you more allowance in terms of how much you can use it. That really depends on how much you are going to use it, whether you need the free or the paid. But the free account is normally more than enough to get started with you if you're not using it yet. Just experiment and ask the AI tool for the questions you want asked. Whether you want to ask it as an expert advisor, a business advisor, a relationship coach, a health and nutritionist expert, whatever it might be, it can answer those questions for you more than likely. And just play around. You're not going to break it. Just ask the questions as you would on a text message. Take a look at our AI tools that have been listed there for you. They are proven tools, and they are customized to work in particular functions, and probably will work a lot better than those tools than if you were just to ask ChatGPT for that kind of output. And also, most of them will work with an API, which will make them a lot more private in terms of putting data into them. And we are going to run various trainings, so please do come along to our training.
And I have stolen the chat. I've stolen.
So,
I'm taking screen share, Karen. Stolen it again. The reason I did that, oh, I'm so sorry, Marina. I don't know. I thought we had enabled it. I will save the chat and I will send out a summary of I will at least send out a list of all the URLs in there for you. What I'm going to do is, people had asked and I had forgotten. GPTs, these things down here, these are custom GPTs that somebody has made. I made a stupid dad jokes one, which basically says, no matter what, okay, I'm having a bad day. I had to give a presentation. No matter what anyone says, the stupid thing will give you a dad joke in response. Okay.
So these custom GPTs are basically layers on top of the standard ChatGPT, which have customized for a specific type of response on a specific expert area and expertise. So it will hone in on providing you with a better response, perhaps, than a general. But anybody with a with a paid plus account can create these GPTs. And maybe we'll run a separate session on that.
Okay, so this was one that I made because I had nothing better to do. But anyway, you can go into Explore GPTs. That's this button down here. And it's got a whole bunch of GPTs curated, like they've got topics as curated topics, whatever's most popular. Video AI, I think this is InVideo. I have that software. It's really, really good. Trending, just like on YouTube, it'll tell you which ones are very popular right now. Write for Me, image generator, logo creator. By the way, if you guys are looking for logo creation, Ideogram, Ideogram, gives you, I think, about 3 or 4 free every day. So go check it out. Then, of course, you've got by ChatGPT, things that, little writing tools, productivity tools. So just go explore and you will find a whole bunch of interesting ones. We promised you a tool. Stop that, you silly thing. We promised you a tool if you showed up for this, and this is the tool we're talking about. It's called Bright Ideas. It's a tool that Karen made. And basically, you can just add it to the chat. And, it can literally, write a funny Facebook post for me. I gave you all that information about my business. Why are you asking me about the events space, please?
Because this is a GPT.
Oh, that's true. Never mind. The GPT doesn't know what. Okay.
So the GPT is basically, I've customized this so that it needs
like
to
that.
know information
Give me
about
10.
you in order to provide you with any response, and it will ask for the information it needs.
If you have a GPT you like and you want it to show up on the left, what you do is you go up here to this little drop down and you say, oh, in my case, it's already in the sidebar. You say keep in sidebar. All right. And that will pin it and you will see it show up on your sidebar. So I can just go click it again and start a fresh one. Hello. There we go. And I can say I need some social media post ideas. What kind of post do my Instagram audience look like? Whatever. So sorry, we've kept you a lot longer than we intended, but I just wanted to squeeze that in before we hung up.
Yeah. There's a lot of chat. I don't know how many. Hopefully we've answered most of your questions. In a time we haven't really got a lot of time for Q&A now. But if you have any,
I found someone to hug.
yeah. Let's just see what was there. What else was it that we wanted to say? Oh right, okay. So that's out. You've got the link there for our social media GPT. That will just help you come up with some ideas for your business with social media. Why is it moving? Oh dear. I don't know what happened there.
I saw whatever that was. Your Bright
There's a
Ideas QR code.
hang on.
Oh, this is great. Demo mode. I can talk to people again while Karen's doing other stuff.
No, our next training is on Monday. We're not doing that training this time. We've got a very inspiring. One of our mentors is actually doing the training, and he runs a training and job performance consultancy in AI, and he's going to talk about various AI income pathways, how to elevate your AI knowledge, how to maybe become a consultant in AI, and also how to AI-ify your business. So if you've got a business and you want to integrate AI into it, then he'll talk about that as well. So it's a really interesting talk. He really is knowledgeable, knows his stuff, and if you'd like to join us, that's on Monday.
Every time I listen to Steve talk, he is inspiring. If you're concerned about your career, any of you who's not got a business yet, you're just working in a job, you love your job, you're worried that AI is going to take your job, you need to go to that training because he talks about, and he's going to, of okay, he's probably going to offer you a chance to join his program where he teaches people to become the AI expert at their job, to get your promotions because you are the person who can make things happen. You make things happen faster, better. So hopefully that's of interest. Skill
I
Up
think
and
that's it then. I think we've run out of time, Maya. We've gone well over our
we
time.
have gone well over time, and I really apologize. Thank you all for your patience. I hope you enjoyed it. If you've got questions for us, you can reach us on Meetup, or I am just putting our email address, Practical AI for Business. .co. There we go. You can reach us by email. If you have topics you'd like us to bring along, let us know. We probably should put a poll out there, shouldn't we? If you know anyone who you've learned from that you'd like to share with the group, let us know, because we're always looking for new speakers. So, let us know. All of that, let us know. And again, thank you all so much. Really appreciate it. We know you have other things to do with your time. And Karen and I can just talk about this stuff for hours, as you guys know.
Thank you, Henrietta, Taylor, David. We really appreciate it. We're passionate about this stuff, and we really want to help as many people as we can. Kind of, one, be educated, and two, actually take advantage and leverage this for their own benefit in some.
And I think that's the way to look at it. Don't look at this as something that's going to lock you out of positions. Look at this as something that's opening up a whole slew of new opportunities that you never would have been able to look at before. I mean, you could go become a marine biologist now. I know nothing about boats or about sea creatures, and I could do that just because the AI would help me. So, think of it that way.
Just check the link. Oh, it's working for me. I'll just put it in again.
What link was that?
Skill
Up and Network, Steve Cunningham.
It's not working.
Yeah, that works for me too.
It should work. It should work.
I mean, you should just be able to click and it'll go to your default browser, which is what happens to me.
Feeling the positivity, SJ. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, SJ. Good. That's what I was hoping. There's a lot to worry about, but there's also so much to look forward to. I mean, just the fact, look at it this way. Technology is great. I mean, yes, there'll be some people who want to twist it for bad uses, but there's really a potential that we're now all going to live to be 120, 150 because AI is going to help with, hey, that is taking forever on my computer, by the way, Karen. AI is helping with creating new medicines, with, getting better outcomes from surgeries. Like, all of that is changing so rapidly. We will have a cure for cancer. Well, not a cure, but probably a vaccination for cancer. It will be available for the rich initially, but don't forget the rich need the rest of us, to be their little minions, to do their jobs for them. You don't think a rich guy is going to do. It's very, very slow. Okay, that's a concern. Skill Up and Network is extremely slow. It just finally loaded for me. That was a good 2 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
2 minutes. Terrible. Okay. We need to fix that. Maybe AI can help. It's our turn, right? We can make robot minions for ourselves. Oh, my robot minions will come fight your robot minions, probably. Sorry, people, I'm getting punchy. I'm on a Mac too. My Mac is slow.
We will send out a recording to this so that you can watch it again if you want to. And we'll send out a link to all the links that we've included in here. So you can access.
By the way, we're going to do this AI Basics talk again. We plan to keep this as a repeated segment of our meetups because things are changing so fast. Share the chat. Maybe. I will decide. I will think about that. Okay, maybe.
And do sign up for our newsletter, I was going to say. Because if you sign up for our newsletter, we will keep you posted on things, changes that come about that we're were
Caroline,
aware of news.
please don't sign up. We will freak you out, I promise you. Because there's so much fun stuff happening.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
folks, I've kept
All
you
right,
way
then.
too long. It's 4 o'clock my time. That means we've been here 90 minutes. Thank you all.
Yeah. Thanks very much. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye.